This is the latest edition of Successors by Mark Simonich. It's the edition from Phalanx Games. So this game has been published now. If I remember right, it's been published first by Avalon Hill. It was then made by, and I think there's two editions from Avalon Hill, GMT Games, and now Phalanx Games. Let's see what's inside the box here. First of all, there's a couple pieces that came external to the main wrapping. And so there's an Egyptian naval piece that was somehow left off the counter sheet and a leader of some kind. We have a rule book here. It is weighing in at, and this game's been through so many editions, I'm assuming this is going to be an excellent rule book. The game is excellent. It's in great shape before this, but I imagine there's a few new wrinkles in the newest edition. Call it about 35, 36 pages. There's a playbook that will tell you how to set the game up. There's different scenarios in it. It's not as thick. There is an example play, and well, that's what you can expect there. The print is fairly small in the rulebook as well as the player aids. There's a bunch of these, but the font does appear. They tried to put a lot of data on here. Okay, I give them kudos for that, but it is a fairly small font for play aids. That's about the only thing I noticed out of that that's maybe a little bit less than what you'd expect out of a deluxe treatment like this. Very nice map. We'll unfold that in just a moment. Inside here we have the Tiki Cards, which are the same size as the Gallic War, Caesar, Rome versus Gaul from GMT Games. It's the tarot size cards. So War of the Ring, the Ares edition of that, same size cards. So there's your Tiki Cards. There are some additional cards, I'm assuming for the leaders. Yep. There is a set of miniatures included here. And we're going to try to get them out with one hand. Oh, it's taped. That's why. Okay, I've successfully extracted the top portion of the leader's tray. It's embedded in this plastic. It's molded to fit the miniatures, which are very nice, in fact. So you can see there's the funeral cart, the coffin. All the different leaders portrayed have their own sculpt, and they are unpainted, obviously, but they're all present and accounted for here. There's a set of stands, I assume, for the stand-up pieces if you want to use those instead of the miniatures. And there are color-coded bases to affix to the bottom of the miniatures to make it easy to tell who controls what leader. That's always been an issue with the game, and that's one of the reasons why I got this edition, is hoping that this does, in fact, solve that. And then there's a little guide here to kind of put in here so you can remember how the pieces go. Set of dice. Not the monstrosities that came with Hannibal. They're actually, looks to be like you could actually roll those. Some postal punched leaders. You see there's a set of stand-up leaders there. A bunch of stand-up guys. There's some more here. And the artwork will match the sculpt, which does make it easy to locate who's who. Alright, there's some more here. Let's just kind of shift things around to see the rest of this package. So underneath is all of the control markers, and these, I can see right now, these are going to punch out really, really easy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. More leaders. Oh, they just keep coming. And 5. There is a lot in this set. Neat stuff here. So those are the counter sheets, all double-sided, and looks like there's even smaller leaders if you didn't want the big stand-up ones. So there's lots of different options with the game as far as how you want it portrayed on your table. The artwork is really top shelf. This looks really, really nice. Like it's every bit as good as Hannibal looked. Couple extra pieces I got with the Kickstarter. It looks like I've got a Siege Tower piece that came external to the main box here. I also received a first, starting player. There's a ring token to show. I'm imagining who is in control of either the first player. I can't remember exactly if it's a first player issue or who controls the body at any one point of Alexander. But it's kind of cool to actually have a ring. And this thing is substantial. It's not a plastic ring. This is metal. It's actually kind of cool. So that's what you get with Successors, the newest edition. We'll go ahead and unfold the map here and see what that looks like next. I've unfolded the map. I do have it under a sheet of plexiglass, so if it looks a little washed out, that's just an illusion from the camera reflecting off the plexiglass. The reason I do that is so I can put some weights on it and make sure it doesn't warp, allow it to dry out from coming out of the printers. But it's a very nice map. It's a little bit different style than the GMT edition, which I thought was a gorgeous map. And this one is going to fit the artwork style of the Phalanx edition. So there you go. It looks really nice on the table. It's really easy to see the different provinces. Everything's really standing out nice to my initial view here. It just looks like everything is going to lend itself to playability here. There's space to put the newer size Tiki cards are going to fit real nice right there. So there it is. This is a great game. Successors, like I said, I want to say this 4th edition of it. Definitely a great game to try out if you can get the Phalanx edition. I think this is a real winner here. I know the GMT one's been out of stock, out of print for some time, so grab a copy of this one while it's in print. I know Hannibal didn't last too long in print, and that was really a banner edition of that game as well. So looks like Phalanx has done a great job on this. Looking forward to playing it.